Fantastic. We are recording, and this is our week's webcast. Love doing these with the team, and we have this exact topic this week because we had an exciting week. We had a great week finishing up Wednesday with that ECB campaign. Wasn't that fun? Woohoo! Yes. Well, a lot of you had been working on getting ECB, and that actually is about the enrollment credit bonus. And what that does is double every credit that comes in. So all new customers and all new partners, from now on, you get double the volume, and that's what Zinzino is all about. Zinzino is a company that is about volume in your business and getting paid out on volume, and we know where the company's going. It's going to be a huge company. So if it's going to be a huge company, we're the #1 company overseas. We're going to be the #1 company here, right, guys?
Yes.
Yeah. Then we want to, and you could get away to get double credits on everything. Double that volume. That was a great thing to do. So we had a great week. Now I actually think I'll grab Ginger in here because Ginger, you guys were killing it. You had a lot of people, and did you actually explain to them what ECB was about?
Well, that's the key for them to understand why it's so important, is to explain to them what it'll do for their business. And volume just makes more dollars in your business. So they need to know the importance of getting ECB and what it can do for their business.
And then what did you do? Did you talk to them about it? Did you help them with those meetings?
Yeah, we were encouraging everybody to get out and do the meetings. We were doing a lot of meetings, and I had a lot of partners at this event, so that was exciting. Just getting really excited about my business growing and helping my partners below me get their business growing, and it's just been a lot of fun.
Is that kind of a key too? Having fun doing it, right?
Yes, definitely. And I think a big part of it too, and a stumbling block I find with a lot of my new partners, is they feel like they have to get over that feeling like they're trying to sell something. Oh, I can't sell something, I can't sell something. And I think a good majority of the people that join Zinzino aren't really there to sell anything, but want to help people get healthy. So when you can get over that hump and realize you're out there to help people, you're not out there to sell them anything, you're just sharing information and it's their choice. I think was the pivot point for myself and the pivot point for a lot of people below me.
I think that is actually quite a key. I think everybody would agree, right?
Yes. Absolutely.
And I think, if people understand that this is a company that it is about the product and it is about the customers, and if we can make the customers the hero of our story, we're going to have a great bestseller, right?
Yeah.
Excellent. Yep.
Well, and actually that's what we wanted to talk a little bit about is how do you build a big business in Zinzino? And it is about following the system. Would you guys agree?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about what it means to follow the system. Would one of you guys like to help out with that?
Well, we have a system that's put in place and it's been used, and it works.
It works.
I mean, it's proven that it works. You look at all the successful people in Zinzino, it works. If you do it the right way, it works.
Yeah, we've talked to so many leaders. We've gotten the opportunity to talk to all these leaders in the company over in Europe, and there isn't a trick. It's just follow the system. Yeah. Do your best to follow that system as closely as possible, and that is what creates the kind of big businesses that a lot of us are really wanting to achieve.
Yeah, today this is kind of funny. My husband was out in the garage and he was putting together this cabinet that we were going to use for storage, because I've been moving all my things in here. And he didn't look at the instructions first. He just thought he was going to put it together his own way, and kind of laughing. And he's like, yeah, well, where does this go? And he's looking at all these extra pieces. And I'm like, did you read the instructions? And he's like, no. And he kind of gave me this funny look like, yeah, don't say anything. And then he read the instructions and found out that, it was all laid out for him of what he needed to do to put it together correctly. And that's really what our system is here with Zinzino. If we follow the system that's been laid out for us, we will have the end result that we want. And if we don't, if we try to invent new things, it's probably not going to turn out the way that we want it to. So
that is so true, because I see it's the exact same thing. When you're putting something together, it says first you do this, second you do this, third you do this, and then you get the right result if you follow those instructions, right? So
absolutely.
You know, it's kind of the same thing in Zinzino, and I'm just going to quick show a fast picture here about that. And this is actually our system. So if you look at what this system is about, you get people, and we call it also a pipeline. And people say you just follow the system is basic. So you get them through this pipeline, and notice these little keys of it. You're going from A to B. And where you are right now is your A, and where you want to go in life is your B. So if once you have your goals and dreams, that's where you want to go. And if you put together 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like Angie said, and follow that system, you will achieve and get to your B. So it's the first step is getting people into the short presentation or a customer demonstration or whatever it is, their first look, getting them to that second look, getting them to the business presentation that's at our hotels, getting them to the business planning sessions, BPS, and then getting to an event. What we also just heard from Ginger was that also made a big change for her team, getting excited at the event. It's like a pipeline. So if you follow a pipe, you don't want people to fall through the cracks. So you help them along the way. And I think that's actually, Ginger, I think that's what you said about from the beginning, is you're helping people get them from step to step. And if people see
right.
So,
and you brought them into the business, you're there to help them. And we all have made that commitment to the people we've brought in.
mm-hmm. And actually, some of the best thing you can do is that you do the same thing. You do, you know, and it is, you know, even getting to the few steps before you get them to a short presentation. You know, learn from your Express Start. Everything is in your Express Start, but learn how to, you know, contact people. How do you book the meeting? You know, we will be going through things like that in more detail in other series that we will be doing on our webcasts. But looking at how to do each of those steps. And once you have got into the business yourself, make sure you follow those steps to get them into the pipeline so that they don't fall out.
Right.
You don't want them to fall out. And then, as Ginger says, you help them each of the step of the way. I think that's the main key. Right, guys?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I have a story from yesterday for inviting somebody to a meeting that I really didn't know. Mm-hmm. We were at an event in Pequot Lakes, and it was Choke Cherry Festival, and we came across our daughter's old bus driver. And, you know, we know her, we know of her. But I certainly, you know, she's not on Facebook. I don't have her phone number or anything like that. And so it was an interesting, you know, conundrum for us. You know, we talked to her. She was actually working at a business. And so we were like, you know, and we walked away and we looked at each other and we said, we need to talk to her. Like she would be great in this business.
She had the personality, like, you know, she was fun, and she was, you know, she was always smiling and positive. And it's like, yeah, she would be great in this business.
She would be great. Yeah. So long story short, I took a deep breath and I walked back in, and she was actually waiting on other customers. And I just said, listen, you know, this is what we both looked at each other when we got out, and I gave her my phone and said, could you please put your phone number in here? I think we need to talk. And she was happy, very happy. Mm-hmm. She said, I'd love to hear about it. Absolutely. About what you guys are doing. Mm-hmm. But she has no idea what it is. So yeah,
this is good. Yeah.
And I you know, it just goes to show you that you can meet someone every day. You can, you know, and if you follow the system in inviting, you know, I didn't tell her what it was. I did, you know, it worked. It worked. So.
I think that's key. You know what you guys are saying, Lori and Bob, that, you know, we don't want to fill them full of all kinds of information. We want them to hear an actual presentation just the same way that we've heard it, so that they get the same information, and then they can make a decision based off the information that they hear if it's something for them or not.
Exactly. Yeah.
That was key, because if I would have tried to talk to her about, you know, anything, I don't think I would have gotten even the phone number.
You know, and that is one of the biggest things that people really need to understand, is that's an exact example of the system. Because if you want to, you know, a lot of people think that what they do is they try to get people interested in some way before they're going to sit down. And it's such a different thing of, it's not that way. You invite them, right? Because our presentation, whether it's a customer demonstration or partner presentation, from the time you open our booklets and shut them, is less than 10, 15 minutes. So if you're going to try to explain anything, they're not going to understand it anyway. So don't try to give a presentation or get them interested on the phone. Book the meetings right and get them into the pipeline, and then you will get, you'll help get them farther and farther down the system. And that's what actually makes it a lot of fun in the business, is helping people get to the next level and the next level. Now, once you get somebody into the system, and you know, you want to make sure you get that follow-up. That's why we had second look was the next part of it within the 48 hours. And I think people don't realize how important follow-ups really are, but they're of utmost importance. I think we all have to realize that.
You may as well not have done the meeting to begin with if you don't have a follow-up booked before you walk away from that meeting. Chasing that person down is a nightmare afterwards. If you have not gotten that follow-up booked and in both of your guys' calendars, you know, oh yeah, you know, give me a call tomorrow, we'll set something up next week. No, that doesn't work.
It's probably not going to happen then.
That doesn't work.
Yeah.
Just our experience. The people who are on this screen right now, we have the experience that people all of a sudden can disappear if you don't follow up with them.
Witness protection program.
So, you know, and they just don't understand it. So, you know, it's just an important thing to make sure that you're doing the meetings and following up on them. So, and then beyond that, you want to get them to the next part, which is the business presentations. And those are at the hotel meetings. And we have like 6 of them in the Minnesota area right now, and maybe a few more that are upcoming anyway. But how important are these guys? Are they like the most important thing for people to go to?
Yeah, they are. Yeah. It keeps you connected on a you know, if you go to more than one on a weekly basis sometimes. You get there, and every time I go there, I always learn something.
Yes.
If I've seen something many times, I still learn something from a different presenter or a different testimony. You always learn something, and it's great. It's just positive energy and great people to be around.
Yeah, everybody's on the same journey.
Yep.
And these are great for bringing, you know, your people that you've met with earlier in the week. Bring them for a second look, or bring people for a third look to those business presentations with you. They can meet other people in the team, maybe even somebody that they might know that they was in the business. That's always a good place to bring the new people and meet everybody, and maybe they had a bunch of questions and get those questions answered. And yeah,
I think actually there's something that people really need to realize, that it's a way to stay connected. Because sometimes the business, you know, you feel like, you know, we're just out there and stuff, but you come every 14 days to a business presentation, and you know, or you're like Bob and Lori, they split up and go to one each, you know, they did this week. But you know, you get into, find the business presentation that's your home, and that's you feel like that's where you're connected to, and don't miss one. Because like Bob said, you learn something each and every time. And it's, even if you're not bringing a new guest, which is the best thing you want to do, is to bring a new person. If you're having, you know, at least 3 meetings out of the week, one of those people should be ready for a second look, or should be coming to a business presentation. And that's where the business presentations will grow. And now that's how we got, you know, from the one group is building up into another area, and now the other people are starting to build up. So we've got, you know, we started with Cambria, and we got Izades, and Bloomington is up there, and the Brainerd Baxter area, which ended up blooming up into the Detroit Lakes area. And now I know that they're starting to do some meetings in McGregor. They're starting to do some meetings in Floodwood, and they're all starting to spread out. But people need to have that community. You need to get the knowledge. You need to learn how to do this business. It's a learning process. I can't say it enough. You learn the system, you learn the basics. I've been in this business 5.5 years. I'm still learning, guys. I feel like a baby in the business. You really need to be at every meeting. That's why the events are so important. You get the food you need to grow. And I can't express it enough. Don't you feel like you grow from these meetings?
Oh, yes.
Definitely.
Yeah.
You know,
I
I
think
think
now
it's not only just
Oh, no, go ahead, Ginger.
it's not only just the education, but it's also, I mean, there's a lot of dream stealers out there, and you're beat down for 2 weeks in a row by everybody saying it's not going to work or whatever they may say. You need that uplifting camaraderie with the rest of the people.
Mm-hmm.
And you need to hear the testimonials and hear the stories from people about how good it all works for them. So it's not just the learning, but the camaraderie and the uplifting feeling of it.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just going to say that right now, I mean, it's really exciting because there's a lot of momentum going on in the business, and you go to these meetings and there's new people there, new partners, and it's really exciting. They're talking to people, and it's really nice. Yeah.
Right. And the other thing I was going to say about BPs is there are people from other states that are partners in the company right now, and there is the opportunity to Zoom in, to do exactly like this. If you are in another state and you want to know how to do a BP, well, you attend a Zoom.
Tune in, yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And I think that until they can do their own, it helps grow their knowledge base and their belief level. And I think we're going to see a lot more BPs in the United States as a result.
Yeah. I know
that's exciting.
It's growing. I know it's going to be growing, and that's why it's really important to stay tuned in, because if you know where this is going, you want to get, growing to your area. So wherever you are, make sure that you're at your BPs, the local ones, or zooming in, and then make sure that you're on the weekly calls, because this is where we're learning each and every time. So this is part of the system. Now I'm going to just go back one more time to this screen here about the system. So we just talked about the short presentation. Let me just go back one more time. The short presentation to the second look, to the BP, to the BPS, which is business planning sessions, and that's where you're also learning with your team and your training. And then the events, which we just had, just on one of the last weekends here. So we're so excited about that. And we have our next event on the October 22nd at the Radisson Blu. So please mark your calendars for that. Now, again, once people are into the business, then we also have an exact system. You see it in your infos and Zinzinos. We work to help people get Smart Bronze, Fast Silver, and X Team. That is part of the system. You really want to help your team get there. And if they don't have, the Fast Silver, they can still get ECB by getting X Team. And then once you understand that, now they're getting ready to learn on their own. So it goes to working to help them each step of the way, get them to executive. And once they have a certain amount of volume, again, we're a volume-based business, 3,000 credits, they're making about $1,200 a month. And that's $700 and $500 in the phone bonus, depending on the volume. And then we helped get 4 people at that to get to the diamond level. And at the diamond level, you're making $5,000 in the volume of your business, and then about $1,000 in your car bonus, which everybody wants, right?
Oh, yeah.
You gotta have one. And then once you can do that, like Ginger sells, you keep helping your team, then you want people to do the same thing that you did. 4 people in your team is Crown. And that's about $16,000 in volume that you're making about $16,000 of this. But that's not the top of the bonus. Because if you look at where all of the steps that we have in our business, Crown is not even the middle of it. And you can build a huge business in Zinzino. Yeah. So it all is volume-based business, and we're ready to do that. I think, we were talking about that in regards to potential. I think business owners see that, right, guys?
Oh yeah, definitely. Now this graph here, I like this graph because in the United States now, I believe director is the highest title, and look at how many more titles there are to go. It's endless, and we're going to have 1,000 crowns here by
2020.
Yeah, 2020 with 1 million customers.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's going to explode, and there's so many places where people can fall in here.
And there's so many things that you can do with your time, but to build a business like this with your time is so worth it because you can see each step of the way. It's so worth it to put some time and energy into a business like this, and especially when you believe in the products as much as I know everyone does, and you believe in the company, the founders, everything. It's easy to go through the lineup, all of the titles, easier if you believe in all those things. And I believe that this company has everything, has every single thing that you look for when looking at, how do I want to spend my time? What do I want to, invest in? Well,
I want to help people.
Yeah, exactly. So invest in this and it pays off big time.
Well, what I would like to add into some great points there, Bob and Laura. I love that. When we have the title ladder and we have people want to do different things in the business, and it's really all about those basics, like what we showed. If we know how to get people to Smart Bronze, Fast Silver, and X-Team Express, well, just helping everybody do that and teaching them so that they can teach the next people, and you can really have any title that you want in the business and hit any goals that you want to by just doing those basics and learning them and teaching them to the next.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Very important. The basics is very, very important. You're right, Angie. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's just about doing it, continuing and again and again and again. I was just listening to somebody talking about, like, when you have a rock can actually be formed by water, and it takes time, but it's because of the continuation of again and again and again and again. And it can actually be formed by it. So anybody can build this business no matter what. Just keep doing it and it will work. So I want to just go on to one thing, because if you're keeping to build the business, and most people get into this business to be making money. Is that kind of why we started, in a way? Helping people and making money along the way, right, guys?
Right. Yep.
Well, one of the things that you look at in your commission plan is this page. And this is actually the paid out in pay points. If you haven't read your commission plan, you need to do that too. Look into your back office, find where it says the commission plan, and download it and read every page cover to cover so you understand, again, the system and how you make money, like how Angie said, putting something together. Step 1, step 2, step 3. That's how you do it. One of the things is to understand where you're getting paid. So every piece of volume is right there, and those are the pay points. And right now the pay point is about 1.35. So if you do 1,000 credits, you will get 100 pay points, which is $135. And if we want to do that, that's how we get momentum, right, guys?
Yes.
Yes.
I want to say that because I just want to bring up, if you're really working at building the business, and now that you've got ECB, a lot of people say, now, what's next? Well, I think the next thing is to set your goal for this month. And if you're setting your goal for this month, we're going to set the goal of maybe silver is your goal, or maybe it's gold. And I think you could set a goal is to get it up to gold, because I think you really want to get to gold, because that's where you're going to feel the money. Getting up to gold is where you're going to start feeling the money. And I think, actually, Angie, I'd like to bring you in here and kind of help to explain it, like the importance. So once somebody hits gold, what is the difference? I know that you work at getting those cab bonuses.
Yeah.
That's when you start to feel it.
Oh, right. That's really when we kind of talk about the gold rush kind of thing, because that's when you can really start earning a lot of money each week. You get the cab bonuses each week, 500 new credits on your right side and 500 new credits on your left side gives you a cab bonus each week. And when you're working to get those, so that you're working with both sides of your team to make sure that, you're getting those credits coming in and you're helping everybody in your downline that has, the gold status or above, help them get their CAB bonuses each week, say, okay, well, you're going to put in a partner on your right. Well, I'll work to put in a partner on your left to make sure that, you're helping your team like that so that they reach those CAB bonuses. And that's really where things really start to have that momentum coming in.
Mm-hmm. And it is an exciting time, because if you look at what it takes for that, if you looked at what we just said before, about 1,000 credits gave $135. But you can do 1,000 credits as a goal, where you're putting in 500 ECB credits. So that's new customer and partner credits, 500 ECB credits on this side also, still 1,000 credits. Realize that. So you're getting 1,000 credits in team bonus, that's 135, but you're also getting a CAB bonus, CAB, customer acquisition bonus. Read about it in your compensation plan. But what that's saying is, if you put in 500 and 500, not only are you getting the 135, you're getting 200 more pay points. That's $270 more dollars. So let's see, 1,000 credits giving 135, or 1,000 credits giving 405 per week. Which one do you want?
Right.
That's actually kind of the fun thing in this business, is to learn the things that are really going to grow your business, and CAB bonus does make a difference. Wouldn't you say, Angie, that that's something to be working on?
Yeah, I would think, if somebody said, well, if you do the same work to get the $135, or you can do this and you can get the 470. I mean, come on, that's like a no-brainer. Let's look at getting some more money, right?
So let's work at doing the best things you can to build your business, as it's going to be really big this upcoming time. And we've got business presentations all over Minnesota here, and hopefully in upcoming states coming up, right? But that's because we know where this business is going. We know that this is going to be a #1 company in the United States. Give it time. And as you heard from Bob, you can kind of feel this momentum is starting to roll. We've heard we know that the United States is going to be the #1 country. And Bob, are you feeling that momentum?
Oh yeah, it's going to happen. Yeah, after the last event at the Mall of America, Grass and Blue, I have no doubt. Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah.
One of the best events we had.
It was, and what's happened. I mean, if you look at everything, all the activity and everything that we're seeing on Facebook, and everybody getting the ECB, so many positive things are happening all at once, and we love it. We've been busy.
Yeah,
that's good.
And just to remind you that when you have ECB, it is lifetime ECB. But to keep it from month to month, make sure you have at least your 10 customers, or make sure that you have a silver status. And if you happen to fall below both of those, then you don't have your ECB, but you can get it back as soon as you hit one of them. So keep it. So you've got your work cut out for you this month. You want to make a big growing business in all of Zinzino, right? Angie, are we ready to build a big business?
Yeah, we are ready. Let's go. Yeah, so many people at ECB that, and great new things that were launched at the event. So I think this is going to be a huge month for us. So
an amazing month. Yay! Yeah. Let's make it a huge month. Let's go out and finish August strong, so that July, the United States was #5 grossing country in all of the Zinzino countries. We were #5, guys. So let's
we beat that this month, can't we? Yeah.
All righty, let's go big, guys. Ready for it?
Let's go.